News Center 25 Weekend Edition at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News Center 25 at 6. I'm Abby Rocha. Today is Election Day. Last minute voters are rushing to the polls, and that's where we find LaShonda McEwen at the Patty Dodson Center. LaShonda, how's it going out there?
Yes, I'm at the Patty Dodson Center where people are still voting for their next mayor, city council, and school board member in Victoria. Now, the polls are open until 7 p.m., so you still have time to come down and cast your ballots before the polls close. Now, according to the interim election administrator for Victoria, for the Victoria County, 2,292 people have already voted as of Thursday. Now, let's talk candidates. For mayor, we have Vic Morgan, Raleigh McCoy, Steve Meckham, and Brett Carter. For council member place 6, Zach Smith and Mark Lofgreen are contesting. For VISD Super District 7, the candidates are Henry Wood, Mike Mercer, and David Steves. Now, again, you do have until 7 p.m. to cast your ballots, and we will have a full update and full coverage of all the elections across the crossroads. In Victoria, I'm LaShonda McEwen with your Hometown News.
Thank you, LaShonda. Hallettsville ISD held a board meeting to determine if they would remove Scott Cottonwar, Calvin Book Jr., and Darren Bickman from their positions at Hallettsville High School. Earlier this week, all three men were indicted on the failure to report an alleged sexual assault, and it was further represented that the defendants intended to conceal the alleged abuse. The special board meeting lasted over an hour, and they did not vote to remove the three staff members from their positions. After the decision, several members of the community declined to speak on camera in fear of, quote, retaliation. But one stay-at-home mom allowed her voice to be heard.
The way I feel about today with no decision being made, I feel like they used their loopholes. I feel as though it was expected, first of all. I feel like it is not going to be helpful to the community. It's not going to be helpful to the parents, and it's not going to give us the comfort that we need for our children to attend this school.
On Monday, May 13th at 6 p.m., an open board meeting will be held in Hallettsville, and we will keep the Crossroads community updated with more information as it becomes available. Taking you across Texas now, cleanup underway in LaGrange after two possible tornadoes swept through the area this morning. So far, there are no reports of injuries, and several industrial buildings were destroyed. The roofs of other buildings torn off, and we're also hearing from residents there as they took shelter.
Yeah, it's so quick, just so quick. I mean, less than a minute, and all this devastation that happened. That's incredible.
That building's completely demolished. And the one part of the building that we were in, that back far corner, you felt the air get sucked out of the room, but everybody walked out of that building. And I attribute that to our God above.
Fayette County officials say that although the town is covered in debris, there were no injuries reported. Now, Trey, that same storm system came through our area last night. However, it was not quite as severe.
Thankful for that. This storm system that caused the tornado there in LaGrange started off as a tornado signature near Yorktown yesterday morning about 9 or 10. Moved to Hallettsville, weakened a little bit, and reformed a tornado signature near Hallettsville. Thankfully, no tornadoes were dropped during those incidents there, but it split off into Fayette County and dropped that tornado near LaGrange. So this is the season for severe weather, so you have to be on watch.
Absolutely. And now the rest of the week, what can we expect?
Well, looking very nice today. We enjoyed some beautiful sunshine. It's going to continue for a while. But the rain will be back and the threat of thunderstorms are back again at some point in time. Currently outside, no worries out there for now. Temperature is pretty much in the 80s area wide from Victoria to Beeville to El Campo, 84, 85 degrees. Beautiful sunny skies. Note all the winds from the north. That's a drying wind off the continent, keeping the temperatures pretty much on the warm side. The humidity is low for now, but things will be changing. The rain's coming back, my friends. We'll talk about when and how much we can expect a little bit later on. Abby?
Thank you, Trey. Taking you to Bangladesh now. At least a dozen people have died as Cyclone Fani hovers over the country's southwest coast. Battering rain, storms, and heavy winds of up to 155 miles per hour have been recorded from the storm, which first made landfall in India Friday. Fani then crossed over India's West Bengal state and moved northeast toward Bangladesh Saturday, weakening from a severe cyclonic storm to a different cyclonic storm. Meteorologists are predicting weather should improve Sunday afternoon. Now taking you across the nation to Illinois, authorities say 3 people died in an explosion and fire at a plant in Illinois. 4 others injured. The explosion happened at the AB Specialties Silicones plant Friday night in Waukegan, about 50 miles north of Chicago. People living in the area say they felt their homes shake. More than 100 firefighters battled the fire through the night. Investigators are trying to determine what caused the explosion. Authorities in Maryland are investigating a shooting that injured 3 adults and 2 children. Medics on the scene say a woman was shot in the attack along with 2 children, a 1-year-old shot in the leg and a 2-year-old shot in the torso. All 3 were taken to area hospitals, plus 2 men went on their own to hospitals to seek treatment. No word yet on the cause of that shooting and no arrests have been made. Maryland officials held a press conference about a helicopter crash that took place in the Chesapeake Bay Saturday afternoon. Rescuers from 7 federal, state, and local agencies continue to search for 2 possible survivors.
At this time, there has been no recovery of any individuals and no rescues made, but at this hour, search and rescue is continuing. The helicopter originated from Tipton Airport outside of Fort Meade, and it was a non-military helicopter.
The Maryland Department of Natural Resources said that the weather was overcast at the time and the crash was not because of the weather or wind. A miracle in Jacksonville, Florida. Everybody on board survived a chartered plane after a chartered plane lands during a thunderstorm, overshoots the runway and slid into a river. Saturday aerial footage reveals the plane, which hit rough weather and slid off the runway, still in shallow water and not submerged. Containment booms have been placed around the plane in an effort to keep the jet fuel from moving downstream. The 21 people rescued are at the hospital in good condition. A SpaceX rocket blasted off from Florida early this morning. It's carrying 5,500 pounds of supplies headed for the International Space Station. It should arrive on the orbiting lab on Monday, and following the launch, the first stage booster was set to land on an ocean platform close to shore. It normally would return to Cape Canaveral, but SpaceX is still cleaning up the landing site following the incident on April 20th that destroyed an empty crew capsule. Now switching gears to news out of Hollywood, actor Vince Vaughn, who was arrested last year for failing a drunken driving test, has been convicted of reckless driving. Vaughn, known for movies such as Wedding Crashers, The Breakup, and Dodgeball, was arrested at a sobriety checkpoint on June 10th in the upscale Los Angeles County community of Manhattan Beach. He was sentenced to 3 years of unsupervised probation in order to complete a 3-month alcohol program. If you use ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft, you may have some trouble getting a ride on Wednesday. Drivers for Uber and Lyft will be joining colleagues across the globe by briefly going on strike. They want better job security, high wages, and better benefits, and like paid time off. Rideshare contractors from LA to Chicago and New York and even London plan to strike. Stay with us. Coming up on News Center 25 at 6, health officials in the Caribbean hoping they've prevented a widespread measles outbreak on a passenger ship. That story and more coming up.
A beautiful view courtesy of the Victory Automobile Weatherbug site, live camera view from the Matagorda Bay Pilot Station across the Intercoastal Waterway. A great day for boating or fishing. Will it stay this way? Things will be changing weather-wise. We'll talk about it in your forecast.
Welcome back. Health officials in the Caribbean hoping they've prevented a widespread measles outbreak on a passenger ship as cases of the highly contagious disease are spreading in the U.S. ABC's Lana Zach has the latest developments. Welcome back. Remembering a film legend and fan favorite, Peter Mayhew, the Star Wars actor so many knew as Chewbacca, passed away at age 74 in North Texas. In small towns like Boyd, it can feel slow, and it's the kind of place where a movie rental store could survive more than 30 years. But folks here still tell the story of one day in particular, the day Chewbacca himself walked into the store.
Oh, he got all kinds of excited when we got to work. He had to tell us all about it, that he got to meet him and he got to talk to him and he got to visit with him.
Now, in the town where time slows down, Chewbacca will be remembered forever. Mayhew was known for his kindness and generosity, starting the Peter Mayhew Foundation that donates to causes including pediatric cancer. In 2016, he went so far as inviting the family of a terminally ill Star Wars fan to his home in Boyd. That is so sweet. I love that.
That's my boy. I always do that.
That's a good
I love it.
impression.
Can you imagine you just see a 7-foot man just walk in the store? Casual, very casual there.
He would stand out in the big
Yes,
way.
I bet he would, yes. And a stormy week ahead of us.
Ooh, I tell you what, you better enjoy the sunshine we're having today and tomorrow because the thing's going downhill rain-wise. We do need the rain, though, so it's a positive. We're thinking positive here. Rain chances coming in, not tomorrow, but Monday through the rest of the week. At least 20 to 30% chances at the minimum, 50 to 60% chances at a maximum. That'll be on Monday and Friday. So keep your umbrellas out for next week. High temperatures in the 80s each day. Lows in the 70s.
And we have some breaking sports news here. The Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby. Maximum Security got disqualified for I don't know what reason, but the new winner is Longshot Country House.
Yeah,
so that's pretty interesting out of there. They have some crazy names for these horses.
I know, yeah. The final race, it was overturned because we don't know why yet, but it was overturned. Interesting. All right, well, for more sports news and weather, visit crossroadstoday.com. It is election night, so join us back here tonight at 10 for live coverage of all of that and
got a half hour.